Sox and did very well. It's just if we have a manager that's competent enough. A.J. Hinch is a good manager, and he had a great bench coach. Terry Francona is a Hall of Fame manager right now, and he's not even retired yet.
Yeah.
John Farrell was not. Wasn't even close. Alex Cora was the bench coach last year, so behind a lot of that stuff with A.J. Hinch. He can do that, and we had the personnel this year to do it as well. So this bullpen can get fixed, and you can turn an Eovaldi, an Erod, one of those guys, into an Andrew Miller or a Peacock or a Morton, and all of a sudden get 5 or 6 from Sale, and then bridge the gap to Kimbrel.
Nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, we got a couple of minor leaguers, but I mean, I'm not gonna put a ton of stock in Lakins until he rattles off at least 4 or 5 stellar appearances. And
no, our best minor leaguer is Feltman, who's in the high minors right now, high A. That's our best one right now, honestly.
Yeah, do we know if he's going to definitely get a call up or no?
I don't know. I don't know if he is. I haven't heard.
I'm to the point to where I think he should, but I'm not sure that our organization is ready to basically just toss him out there like that.
Yeah, I don't think they are, because I don't think it's because it's not in full out panic mode in the bullpen, right? We're not that point yet, but we're getting close. But the September call-ups will help out with that. But I believe he will, if needed, will get called up. And if he continues to crush it in low A and that extended league down there, there's no reason not to give him a cup of coffee up here. Give him a couple innings. You don't have to put him on the roster, but at least
dip his toes in the water.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? If he does well, great. But if he struggles a little bit or is okay, just okay, you have to put him on the roster. Nothing wrong there.
That sounds crazy, though. He's in Salem right now. I got his thing up here.
He's been great this year.
Yeah, he's got a 2.79 ERA, 9 appearances. The stats are weird on here. Yeah, he's given up 3 earned runs. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Lakins is in AAA, so I know he's going to get a call up. And
Lakins is a guarantee.
Yeah, he's coming up.
So
he'll get in games too.
Yeah. I was
the one thing about Cora that is different than Farrell is that he loves to try everybody out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Farrell, was basically Barnes was going to be the 8th inning guy or 7th inning
and Kelly
guy.
was your 7th, no matter what, every night. Doesn't matter if he gave up 100 runs in the game before or 2 games before, 3. It doesn't matter.
Right. Dombrowski had to send Barnes down to Pawtucket just so Farrell wouldn't keep going to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had another thing on Kimbrel. It escapes me. Here's another way to look at it. If the playoffs started tomorrow, I mean, I almost think it's going to be the same way, the last few years. So they're going to have to use the month of September to really, really get things smoothed out here. And I think we're, 7 games above the Yankees, luckily. And
7.5, yeah.
7.5.
Yeah. So I still have the sneaking suspicion that it could still end up being a race, especially with 6 games head to head. And I just don't know if we're going to have the luxury to rest people those last couple of weeks that we kind of assumed we would. And the other thing, too, about this series is all of our damage came late. Through 6 innings tonight, we were down a couple of runs, basically kind of punchless, and then last night we had the early lead there, but then got behind. So, I mean, it could easily be, a 5 or 6 run lead right now. And
no, for sure, but I like looking at it the other ways that we've been a very clutch team this year. Bogarts has been one of the most clutch guys in the majors. JD Martinez, same way. And late inning runs, we're putting them up, something that we struggled with the last couple of years, which was winning games late, being clutch. I know last year or 2 years ago we won 17 walk-off games.
Yeah, it was the cardiac kids all over.
Yeah, exactly. But the year before that and the year before that, we were not that great in late game situations. And this year we are. We go down the 6th, 7th inning. I don't care. Even early on, how many times have the Red Sox been down 3 or 4-0 this year, in the 3rd inning, and won the game 10-9, 10-6, 14-7, something like that? They don't quit, and I do like that because even good teams, you look at some good teams around the league, look at the Yankees or look at, Houston, and look at them late, more often than not, they're down early, they lose. I know the Yankees walked off yesterday, but other than that, I can't remember, a team like this Red Sox team that when they're down, I don't feel like we're out of it.
Yeah, it's definitely like tonight. We were sitting there down a couple runs, and I'm not even remotely like worried. The one thing I was genuinely worried about was Price's hand, and wanting to get updates on that. But eventually, the bats were going to blow up, and they did in a big way.
I mean, against the Marlins, that's fine, and I am of the mindset that we can come back. Our lineup is dangerous, like you were saying, Dave. But are we going to do it against Oakland? Are we going to do it against Cleveland in the postseason?
Well, we did against Cleveland.
Yeah,
we put up 10-7, and then we put up 4 in a loss, and we had runners on the corners.
Well, I'm just talking about their bullpen late, but
I think we can, absolutely. I mean, the only thing that this team struggles with is dominant lefties, because we have a heavy lefty lineup. But with some call-ups and with some tweaking, you got Pearson there now. You can throw Swihart on, flip him over on the other side. They've been sitting JBJ more, when there's a dominant lefty on the mound or he comes in or something. So I still think we can do it. We've done it all year. I mean, we beat good teams. I mean, we've gotten to the Yankees bullpen. We've gotten to Chapman. We've gotten to Cleveland starters and some of their bullpen. Just in the second half, we've done that. The only bullpen we haven't really gotten to this year was Oakland, who might not even make the playoffs or get past the wild card game, and the Phillies. The Phillies bullpen we haven't gotten to this year. Other than that, I mean, we've gotten to people. I mean, we put up runs against Atlanta earlier this year. We put up 5 and 9 in the last 2 games against Houston, and look pretty good there and get to their starters there. Seattle, we put up 6 in a game, lost because Porcello had a bad game. Put up 9 in a win against Leak, who was pitching really well at the time. And then we played them a week later, and we put up 14, 2, and 5. So we've done it against good teams this year, and I don't see why we wouldn't be able to do it in the month of October at this point. It's not like we have a bunch of injuries or guys slumping. I guess the biggest slump in the lineup currently is probably Austin's boys, Benny, honestly.
Yeah, he's hitting, but coming into the night, he was hitting 111 in the last week. But
in the week.
Yeah.
In his last 30 games, he's low 2s.
Yeah, well,
we're going to like Mookie. It just takes one game to kind of swing everything around.
Oh, 100%. In his last 30 games, he's batting 250. Last 15.
He just needs to play the Yankees again.
Yeah, he is good against the Yankees. And Mookie was the same way. Out of the break, he struggled. He was rolling over a lot. Kind of looked like Benintendi at the beginning of the year. Reaching on balls, trying to pull stuff on the outer half of the plate, not going with it.
Not taking what was given to him, basically.
Yep, exactly. And then you look at Mookie tonight, who was the definition of, luck. When you're good, you get a little luck. But inside pitch, turned on it, moonshot. Outside pitch, that was fast, went with it, pushed it for a double. And then a little check swing, single, we'll take that. But in his last 3 games, he's batting 296, right? But we were on Mookie. I was on him last podcast when we were talking about him. In his last 15 games, he's batting 204. That's when we were on him. In his last 7 games, batting 333.
He's definitely had
the Red Sox Nation exhales as soon as he plants one of the monsters.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. If he can get it turned around, then we'll be much better off. That series against against Tampa was pretty ugly for him and Benny and pretty much the whole team. In fact, I put out a tweet tonight. We scored double the number of runs in the 11th inning than we did the entire Tampa series in 27 innings.
Yeah.
So,
we scored 5 runs in that Tampa series, and we gave up 24.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not great. To be fair, we only had one legit starter there. We had Velasquez and Evaldi, our back-end starters. Only Porcello was in there, to be fair.
Yeah, and they're playing good ball anyway. We were catching them pretty much at the wrong time.
Man, they're up 5 on Tampa or Atlanta right now.
If they were playing this type of ball all year, they'd be Oakland.
Yeah.
Because Oakland was a 500 team, and then they got hot. Tampa was like a sub-500 team, and then got hot.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of like the Red Sox in 2015 when Lovella took over and we just went on an insane run. We weren't doing the wacky stuff though that they're doing, but
yeah, no,
right.
Kevin Cash is just an anomaly.
Right.
It's almost like they breed idiots out there.
Yeah.
Getting over to the rotation now. Sale, I guess, for the third day in a row was throwing on flat ground from 120 feet, so his program seems to be getting ramped up, and I'm guessing he's probably a couple weeks away from a start. And
yeah, I would say looking probably at the Houston series for him to come back.
I think that's the goal.
The September 8th start is Johnson against to be determined at the moment for Houston, and he's not going to come back against the White Sox, obviously. Against Atlanta, it's Price, Porcello, Evaldi. Definitely going to keep Price and Porcello in if Price's hand is okay. So
actually,
I don't think they scratch Evaldi.
I just saw something, though, that Price might get taken out of that game because they're worried about him having an at-bat with his wrist.
Ooh, that's sense. A good call. I like that. Yeah. Honestly, I'm okay with it anyway because we talked about, I know, Terry, you were concerned with guys not getting enough rest at the end of the year, and Sale's gotten rest, and now Price only 3 innings tonight, and he's going to skip a start next week. So that's a whole nother, he just saved himself 150 pitches.
Yeah, his wrist is going to be the size of a baseball if it's not already. It's like 111 off 102 off the hand.
That was nasty. Yeah, and I'm sure my Twitter account got scoured because people were probably waiting for me to celebrate, Price not being able to play for a little while possibly. But I'll reiterate for the rest of the season, I have no faith in him once October comes around. But we need him immensely, to get through September, to get into October.
Our second best pitcher.
Yeah,
been our second best pitcher all year long.
Right.
And a horse.
So
yeah, he's had a couple blow-ups here and there, but who hasn't, minus Sale.
We need
not lately either.
Maintain that lead that we have, and he would obviously be a big part of that. Erod comes back, so that should be interesting. Hopefully
exciting.
So excited.
He gets a little bit more efficient than he was, so we won't know until
Let's hope he's the missing piece to this playoff rotation.
Yeah, either that or the bullpen. I don't care where it is. Starter, bullpen, don't care.
I mean, he's would probably be our Game 4 starter, or just be one of the maybe third or fourth anyway. But he right now he's projected to get one of the 4 starts regardless, and assuming Price is going to be healthy and Sale, because last year, like I said, we didn't know who the hell our Game 3 starter was going to be. And
the last 2 years we haven't had the Game 3 starter really.
Right, because it was Buchholz the year before, wasn't it?
Yeah, Buchholz, and he went 5 and a third.
2 years ago we barely had a Game 1 starter, let's be real.
That's true. I mean, Erod and another guy that we were worried was going to run into Pomeranz issues, which was just like never been in this territory for innings pitched. Another year of not knowing if he can pitch 200 innings because he's not going to do it this year.
Right.
He's taking a lot of time out, and I mean, if he can pick up where he left off, even around where he left off. I mean, for the year he was at 3.44 ERA, awesome. And in his last 7 starts before he went out, he was at a 3.03.
It's hard to pitch 200 innings when you only go 5 every start.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. It would have been interesting to see, how it all would have worked out for him, because his arm was just heavily taxed through that. I forget when the injury even was, but through the first 3 months anyway.
He's throwing 110 every game.
Yeah, right, and barely getting out of the 5th inning, with a count like that. So,
Pomeranz syndrome.
Right, and his injuries, I mean, it's always lower body, and he's just not very athletic. I want to say. I mean,
really? I think he's athletic. I think he's got a lot of bad luck. He slipped on a wet mound in a bullpen session in Baltimore, which could happen to anybody. And then he made a great athletic play going from pitching, jumping over a guy, catching it, landing, getting the out, I believe, and then, almost breaking his ankle. I feel like that's like if he was rolling off the mound and doing that, or you know, like in the batter's box. I feel like he's athletic.